Doing some rainy, chilly day thrifting. It has been so bad out here, you guys. The last 2 weeks or so, I have not found anything good. Like anything. And you know that I'm not even looking for like jackpot stuff. I'm picking smalls. And even the smalls are hard to come by. But I do think that thrifting is very luck-based. A lot of people want to be like, no, it's skill, it's not luck. Like, no, there's a huge luck element. And I just happen to not be very lucky right now. But I am at my favorite thrift store. They usually have a half off sale, and I've had videos where I've gone there before on YouTube. It was like one of my first videos, and I also do a lot of TikToks at this location. It's one of my favorites because it's not a Goodwill. It's like an independent with 3 locations. Today is not a half off day, and I think that's gonna bode well for me. They've been doing a lot of half off sales, and so it's kind of conditioning people to only want to come when they're doing half off miscellaneous. I know that I've been falling into that trap, but if I come on a day that it's not half off, it's probably going to be less picked over. Please, for the love of God, end my suck streak. Gotta find something. Fingers crossed. Not quite as good as an everything half off day, but we still have 2 colored tags to watch out for. We're not off to a great start because this cart had some sticky, gross goop all over the handle, and I had to go get a new cart. Right by the entrance is one of my favorite little hidden spots. They like to stick cheaper health and beauty in these not often used checkout lines, so I always come over here first. The hard part about thrifting for health and beauty is you're almost always going to encounter used products. Used cosmetics like face creams or lotions or makeup are all not allowed on eBay, so you have to be careful and check everything. I'm always going to give these miscellaneous soap bags a tumble just to see what's inside. I've sold numerous bars of expensive soap before, like this Colgate Octagon and this Cashmere Bouquet. Unfortunately, most of these bars weren't worth it for me, so I passed. Will the showcase be a literal showcase of overpriced stuff, or will they have some good stuff in here? Let's find out. If you're a reseller and you can still walk into your thrift store and find GameCube games or anything that's worth money, you are thrifting on easy mode. Sorry. I live close to 3 different Goodwill chains, and none of them put video games out. They have a strict policy that all video games must go to the online auction. And the last time I found a video game worth selling here was in my very first thrift along video, and that was filmed probably 2 years ago. So there you go. Get a load of this massively overpriced Pee-wee doll. He'd have to be way cheaper to make a profit. $60 for an untested Xbox 360 Elite, not worth the gamble. And then I thought, ooh, Lily Pulitzer, that's gotta be good, right? There's 3 of this candle set listed and none sold, so nope. A $180 KitchenAid mixer, I'm gonna say that's a little overpriced for a thrift store. $3 Beanie Babies is excessive, but this brand new in the box VTech toy got me really excited because I've sold it numerous times before. These do sell for quite a bit new, so $45 isn't terrible, but I bet I can wait for a half off day and get an even better price on this. Ignoring that this glass set does not actually go together, this is a great example of thinking something might be worth money when it's probably not. You can look on eBay and see that these bare glasses do sell from time to time, but you have to look beyond that when you're doing comps. This one has 14 solds, but 99 listed, so if you buy them, you're going to be waiting a long time for your turn. Since my space is at a premium, I try to pick things that move a little faster than this. Stick with things that have a pretty even number of listeds to solds or things that have a lot more solds than listeds. Leaving the showcase behind, I come across this combo player. It's not a super popular one, and it's more than I'd like to pay, but I don't know. I have a soft spot for combo players, so I'm gonna grab it. That's sold on eBay during editing for $60, and profit was $30.53 after shipping and fees. In a nearby cart they're stocking from, I noticed this Caterpillar right away. But where is the head? I recently sold one for $36.99, so I'm hoping the head turns up. This Star Wars thing looks pretty neat. Is it worth anything? Nope. Heading into the Glassware, and I got really excited for a second because I thought this was a Yankee candle shade, but it's actually a knockoff. If the price is right, I'm always grabbing the Crackle Glass Yankee Candle seasonal shades. I'll admit it can be really hard to tell the difference between a genuine and a knockoff without the sticker on the bottom, but that comes with experience. For example, the painting on this one looks really cheap and it's flaking off. The Yankee Candle ones are almost never flaking off like this, and they tend to have more of a hand-painted vibe to them. Can somebody please explain the tiny shell phenomenon to me? It exists on so many thrift store things. Wasn't expecting to see Pyrex today, but I'll take it. I immediately knew what it was because I was interested in buying some of these watercolor pieces myself when they first came out. While most people know that the opalware Pyrex and the vintage stuff is worth money, there's a lot of these modern pieces that are surprisingly valuable too. The fact that it survived to be a markdown color tells me absolutely nobody else knew its value. There are currently only 2 listed for this size and 1 sold, but the sold was an auction and I feel that it went too low. I'm gonna ask $60 for mine. This thrift is actually well known for its clothing, but to be completely honest, I don't like looking for clothing. Flipping through these endless t-shirt racks is not my idea of a good time, but I guess it just goes to show you that there's plenty out there for all resellers. We don't all have to be in every niche. I will try my luck with the blankets though. Just seeing some generic Afghans, but I'm on the lookout for satin trim baby blankets like a Baby Morgan or something, or granny square quilts, anything that's kind of in and trendy right now. I'm not much of a shoe reseller, but I do know that Birks are good. But not for $25 with comps like these. The back room here is magic. It's all electronics and toys and stuffed animals, my favorite kind of stuff. It would be very easy to walk past this box on the floor with a step stool on top, but I caught it out of the corner of my eye and it's something I've sold multiple times before. This is a caddy full of Kirby vacuum attachments. Always look up vacuum attachment sets. I think Kirby and Dyson sell pretty well and I find them fairly often. Struggled for a while looking for the price, got stuck, but eventually found it written on the box. $10 with an O for orange, so this will actually only be $5. This is why I never paint my nails, because I tell myself as soon as they're all the same length, I'll paint them, and then inevitably one breaks before I do. They sold less than a week later for $60. After shipping and fees, I made $27. Could I have held out for more? Probably, but I don't have a lot of space for large items. I have to balance the quick money with the slow money. I'm going to show a little love to these 8-tracks on the floor because it doesn't look like anyone else's. Although I love obscure and obsolete media and electronics, I'll admit that 8-tracks aren't really that interesting to me. But I will peruse them looking for quadraphonic tapes. They're pretty easy to spot once you know what to look for. Not only will they say Quad 8 or quadraphonic or quadrasonic on them somewhere, they'll also always have this little tab on the upper left corner. Prices vary wildly, but for more popular artists, $30 to $50 is not uncommon. Now when you're out thrifting and you notice 8-tracks, you'll have an easy, reliable way to find ones that are worth money. I tend to completely avoid these old style radios with the iPod 30-pin connectors on them because nobody's really buying them. The exception being the Bose models, those actually still have some value. Anyway, right underneath that, something else caught my eye. 2 somethings, in fact. No idea how much though because the price sticker is ripped, so they might not even sell them to me. Although larger than the kind of stuff I like to buy, once I looked up the comps, I really couldn't pass these air purifiers up. Although my reseller sense is kind of tingling. Whenever I find 2 identical, sort of high-dollar items together, it seems like the odds of them being broken goes up. To me, the price sticker looked like it was $8 on an orange, which would make it $4 today. And that's the price I'm willing to take a chance on. Well, I was half right. One of the units doesn't work properly, but the other unit works just fine. Grandma Thug. Okay then. Had a split second of excitement like, oh, an iDog. I like selling iDogs, but it's not an iDog. Apparently it's from the people that made the iCybe dog. It's sort of like a knockoff iDog speaker. Doesn't seem to have much resale value though. This is why I love this back wall. It combines 2 of my favorites, electronics and toys. Really neat looking Quasimodo puppet, but the value and sell-through rate just isn't there. Seems like most resellers have caught on to the value of Monster High, so I'm being more selective with the dolls that I choose. I will only get dolls that are still articulated. Newer ones tend to have fused arms and are worth less. This one is at least complete, her arms and legs don't look chewed on, and her hair's in pretty good condition. For the price, I'm gonna grab her. If you aren't familiar with the characters, they ID pretty quickly with Google Lens. This one ended up being Kirsty Trollson. Complete, she sells for around $45 to $50. In nude condition like this, I sell for about half as much. She sold on Mercari in less than a week. I couldn't find much about these goofy looking dinosaurs, but they're pretty cute, and they do sell, so I'm gonna grab them. If only I had the entire set. Marie, I thought you were one of the ones to escape the 70s with your brain unfried. What are you doing making bug dolls? Quick scan of the board games and this vintage Radio Shack logo stood out. There's only 1 listed and none sold. But for $2, I feel like I have to take a chance on it. Unfortunately, the batteries had severely corroded. I'm gonna hit it with some vinegar and see if I can clean it up. One end cleaned up really nicely, but the other end stayed pretty gross. But luckily for me, that's the end that's not connected to any wires, and it's really easy to swap out. You can buy a bag of these battery terminals on Amazon. I'll leave a link in my description. It's a little big, but that's nothing a few snips can't fix. Out with the old and in with the new. It worked, but it is so loud, even when I cover the speaker. And for some reason, only the demo button is working. The rest of the buttons don't function at all. Bad buys happen, but they hurt a lot less when you only spent $2. I thought maybe I could sell the little headphone piece, but the wire is frayed, so nope, this whole thing is just junk. Ah, the head to the caterpillar. Now I have to go back and find the rest of it. I don't really have the space for pots and pans, but I will look in this section for Starbucks cups and other tumblers and stuff that I think might be worth it. I know this plush wall looks pretty full, but it's actually fairly low for what it normally is. I gave a quick dig through and I didn't see anything interesting, so we're gonna move on. This is the random crap bag area, and I feel it would be way better served if it was a wall and not shelves. Had to look through this bag of toothbrushes just in case I found a rare floss. I've only found it one time, but man do I wish I could find it again. Always on the lookout for a good pharmaceutical promo. This one doesn't really cut it though. The promotional item itself is just tissues, which isn't super cool, and Abilify is not really a drug that people are collecting. Does it pass the conversation piece test? The neater, the better. I mean, just look how rad this is. Alright, let's head back up front and see if we can find the rest of that caterpillar. Of course the cart with the caterpillar is missing, why wouldn't it be? Rookie mistake. If you think you can find the other half of something, always bring it with you. Luckily, a trek all the way back to the toys turned it up. I don't know, I just thought this was really handy and cute and wanted to show someone. And that is it. That's the whole trip, and here's everything that I bought. That was a grand total of $39.50 for all the items in my cart.
Alright, I guess that wasn't too bad. Maybe bringing you guys along as my lucky charm. This was supposed to be an empty cart video. This was supposed to be me showing you that you don't find something every time you go, that sometimes your luck is bad, that sometimes I pass on stuff because I get that question a lot, like, you know, you show us the wins, can you show us some of the stuff you pass on? I mean, I was trying to do that, but I still ended up with a full cart of crap. All in all, a really good trip. I needed this win, so thank you guys for being my good luck charm, and I hope you see me again next time. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I don't always do thrifting videos, but I'm hoping to get more out this year. I do a lot of other stuff too, so I hope you enjoy. Now I hope you get out there, have fun, and find something good.